and welcome to the Run of the Race. I'm Brittany Taylor, joined as always by Mark Warwood for a punting form review of everything that happened on the weekend in racing. And Mark, from a West Australian perspective, it was a very, very proud day.
You're a Sandgroper born and bred. I'm not, but geez, anybody with a connection to WA on Saturday would have been absolutely delighted with the performances of several horses.
Arcadia Queen, one of those. We know she's going towards the Everest. We're very keen to see her return. The last time we saw her was in the Kingston Town here in the West. How did her performance rate?
Minus 11.8. That's the second best figure of her career. Kingston Town Classic minus 16.6. It was the third best figure of the meeting behind Bivouac and Yes. She had the fastest splits from the 8 to the 6, the 6 to the 4 and the 4 to the 2. She was a little bit weary over the last 200 metres, but you can probably forgive that. I think it was a significant improvement on what she did in the Guineas last year off a similar tempo. That was minus 8.1. Very good run.
And physically, she just looks like she's come back a real furnished animal as well. So looking forward to seeing if there is that improvement still in her as we head towards the Everest. What about Gatting? 100 to 1. This was just sensational scenes.
Incredible. New personal best performance, unsurprisingly, by 4.5 lengths. His previous best was in the Kingston Town behind Arcadia Queen. I think there's every reason to suspect he can either improve or certainly maintain it next time out. He has won up to 2,400 metres, but I do suspect he's probably best over a mile, maybe 1,800 metres. And looking back at that trial, how good did Lady Cosmology and Special Reward go?
Well, we certainly know that they're horses to follow going towards the Spring Carnival from the Simon Miller Yard. We had some other WA horses as well featured a little bit down the track.
No knock on Scales of Justice, second best career figure, and he was coming off that personal best of minus 18.3. Looking at his data, I'm now pretty confident this horse is probably a 1,400 or 1,600 metre horse. Fully understand why they're pulling up stumps and not going towards a Cox Plate. I would love to see the horse here for a Lystea and a Railway, but it does look like he might well have a spell. Then the others that ran quite well, Malibu Style and Rebel King, both very good performances. Sad to say, however, Material Man was very, very disappointing. Worst rating in 2 years.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he is in his best form at the moment. That is a look at all the racing on the eastern coast from a WA perspective. Now let's switch back to our local racing, and a nice performance here by a 3-year-old, freshly turned 3-year-old, Belle of Liberty, paying dividends for her connection.
It's running third. A nice run for Tunis, fourth behind them there, but she's got a lap full of horse with this fave coming up to the home corner. Powder Bell with its ears ridden off back on the inside under real duress, and towards the tail is Rio Rogue. About to set sail for the judge now at the top of the straight, less than 400 to go, and now McNaught releases the brakes and she shakes up Belle of Liberty. Belle of Liberty kicks 2.5 in front from My Fair Valentine. They've dropped off Moama Rose. Coming inside the 200, Belle of Liberty is still clear. She's out by 2 lengths over My Fair Valentine, and she looked to be in no real danger. Belle of Liberty coming away under some riding from McNaught, wins it by a length. My Fair Valentine second. They gap the
Belle of Liberty recording her first city victory. She's had a great start to her career. 4 starts for 2 seconds and 2 wins, and she's a Westby Platinum horse, so they are just reaping in the prize money.
Personal best by 2.5 lengths. Did it the hard way as well. She led this race. I think she's the horse to follow out of it. I am going to forget Powder Bell. Did get a bump on jumping, but was still pretty plain, and her personal best of plus 4.3 is simply not good enough anyway. And I'll forgive My Fair Valentine. Did nothing wrong. Minus 0.6 was the overall rating. Just simply ran into a much better one.
Yeah, certainly looks like a horse with a future as well. And I think the connections were pretty bullish on Saturday. So clearly the horse does have some ability. Let's have a look at race number 2. And this one was taken out by Fryer Fox.
Fryer Fox, Sense of Power led them at the 600. No change at all to the order though as they approach the home corner. And Sense of Power leads around the corner at the 450, 3/4 in front now. On the outside, Western Temple jog trotting for Pike goes up there. Now McNaught's hard at work on Taxagano, back inside of heels, and Missile Launch is about to start its claim as well. From further back, Fryer Fox runs on. Western Temple with the monobrow band in front leads the way from Missile Launch and Fryer Fox. Taxagano back behind them, can't win. Missile Launch and Fryer Fox. Fryer Fox first. first up, gets the head in front. There's a mighty return. A great victory first up.
Friar Fox winning there. Only a moderate tempo, but that figure coming home, minus 7.8 for the last 600.
Yeah, really did fly home, did Friar Fox. Was sitting next to Justine Erklins during the race. She was very pleased with the run. We'll forgive Missile Launch here, just pretty keen in the middle stage. He's second fastest sectionals. He's not one of mine, and I don't really like this race, but I will forgive him on Saturday. Forgetting Sense of Power, was keen in the lead, lowest two-year personal best of all the runners in the race, totally out of form. I don't know how on earth this horse opened at $3.50 on Thursday morning, and I will follow Friar Fox. Very much a token pick here, however. Fastest sectionals, I'm just not that convinced about her. I think she probably wants this type of trip. I don't want to see her over too much further.
All right, race number 3. This one was a maiden, so no surprise that the figures aren't something to write home about, but let's take a look at A Millionite winning.
From the back of the field, coming around them, 4 deep here at the 550. It's Osipova, though, that leads the way. Up to the home corner, tackled by A Millionite. Going up now and joining those on the outside. Rexford quickly makes a line of 3, and right behind them, Ayoka Frost. They're being followed further back by Miss Flamboyance, and then Sunol, who's switching back inside of heels, and Javella still makes that run down the outside. Son of the Sun weaving its way through traffic as well. A Millionite reached the lead inside the 200, though. Miss Flamboyance down the outside. Son of the Sun getting clear. Sunol on the inside. Miss Flamboyance coming at A Millionite. A Millionite in front, though, and it's A Millionite. A Millionite has won it, kicking back on the inside. Sunol.
Well done to Connections of A Millionite taking out its maiden, but if you look at these figures, they've absolutely walked.
They certainly have. Plus 8.6 was the overall rating for A Millionite. The blinkers went on. Adam was very generous in his post-race interview in saying that he didn't think it had made any difference whatsoever. I think she'll struggle to win another race, and therefore she's the forget horse out of that contest. I will forgive Javella. Lost a couple of lengths at the start when pretty flat-footed, was wide also. Mid-race move that Lucy Warwick performed did certainly hurt Javella in the closing stages. And I'll follow Son of the Sun here. Was pretty keen, got held up in the straight. Fastest last 2 and 600 metres, probably can win a race like this.
All right, and obviously it is in maiden quality as well, so they all have to win one at some stage. Now to one of the more exciting races of the day. We were all looking forward to the return of Cockney Crew, but I don't think anyone anticipated he would win by this margin.
Trump this locomotive together, scintillating, trailing those. Dark Royalty is next to last, about 6 or 7 from the leader, Cockney Crew. Given a bit more rain by McNaught, had slipped away at the 400, and Cockney Crew races clear. Hyperspace calling it a day. Cockney Crew has raced 5 in front from Reefkeeper Hyperspace. Locomotive Trump this called upon, but Cockney Crew's a day in front. 200 left to go. Look at Cockney Crew. It's Cockney Crew by 6, 7 with 100 left to go. Trump this, Hyperspace scintillating. What a remarkable return to racing since the Derby. Cockney Crew has absolutely trounced them.
Cockney Crew winning by panels. He was coming out of that trial where he won by 21 lengths, but gee, he just about halved that and did it again on race day, recording an overall figure of minus 7.1. It's very good.
Equine performance of the day, notwithstanding the human performance of Jade McNaught. Clearly the follow horse here was only just a little bit off his personal best, and the fact that he's got another personal best around this mark suggests to me that he'll be able to back it up. He led all of the way, he had the fastest splits home as well, and Jade McNaught barely touched him. It was a phenomenal performance by this Machino gelding, and quite remarkable considering his Machino gelding that he seems to love a bit of a trip. Forgetting Time to Hunt here, 4 duck eggs in a row now, totally out of form, was beaten nearly 15 lengths on Saturday. And I'll forgive Locomotive, lost 3 lengths at the start when he threw his head in the air. He was never in the race after that. To be honest, no one else was in the race once Cockney Crew got to the front.
No, certainly wasn't. It just kept on going, and Jade even said in the post-race she went to give it the stick and had a look behind and didn't realise just how far in front she was. It was a great performance. Hopefully we can see plenty more of that from Cockney Crew. The next race was taken out by a mare who is in very, very good form, just keeps winning. It's Heavenly Affair.
Over on the inside to Heavenly Affair, going pretty easily. Then came Scandal Maker. Around the outside from the back of the field, Master Pearl peels off 4 and 5 deep, coming into the home corner. Kia Aura Star left the fence. Blue Horses tracking up in behind those, and Maribel's under heavy pressure. Next up, the Moon wobbled away from the inside from Abbey Lane. Heavenly Affair and Kia Aura Star both going up near the inside, and further back is Master Pearl. It's still next up, the Moon. Warwick draws the whip on Heavenly Affair. Kia Aura Star's coming between them. them. Heavenly Affair, Next Stop the Moon. Next Stop the Moon and Heavenly Affair. Kiora Star lunging in the middle. Here's a finish coming up ahead, Bobber. Heavenly Affair. Heavenly Affair.
Heavenly Affair winning, much to the delight of trainer Vern Brockman, and this horse has only been in a slow run race here and recorded an overall figure of plus 1.5.
If you haven't seen the interview on Facebook with Brittany and Vern Brockman, do yourself a favour and have a look at it. He's one of the funniest things you'll see this year. Doesn't make the file, does Heavenly Affair. I think she's probably won most of her races, although I will say that the fence was probably a little bit off on Saturday, probably a couple of lengths inferior according to punting form. So the fact that she won from the inside gives it more merit. I will follow Next Up the Moon here, third in this race. PB is certainly the best in the field and probably just needed more tempo in this speed race. Forgetting Maribel, keen, vetted after the contest. The 2-year personal best rating for Maribel relates to its form in New South Wales. And I'll go back to Next Stop the Moon and forgive it. Cast a near 4 plate probably was the difference in addition to the tempo.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have a look at the rest of the meeting, including the listed Farnley Stakes.
Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. Watch Sky Racing and race replays on the go. Get free Giddy Up premium form. Access your winnings faster with past the post payouts. And keep your winnings if there's a protest. Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the run of the race, where we are up to race number 6, and this was taken out by a horse that has returned back to the Adam Durrant camp, and he's got him going in fine form. It's Bunker Buster.
Over Vagabond Boy, the run of the race too close, the sun right behind them. Mr. Albie coiled up, nowhere to go coming into the bend. Bunker Buster's just behind them, about to make its move. Followed by, at the head of the others, Not Again Ken, Maserati, All Man, Galaxy Blaze, Regent Star has dropped out last. They're into the home straight now. Vagabond Boy, the roughie, levelled up to Blackwood River. Too close, the sun lets down, however. Races to the lead, Bunker Buster giving chase. It's got right out to the middle of the track with 150 to go. Too close, the sun. Bunker Buster, they're wide apart. Too close, the sun and Bunker Buster. It's Bunker Buster, too close, the sun. Bunker Buster gets the head in front. They hit it, oh, it's close. Bunker Buster, too close, the sun.
Bunker Buster winning again, this time over 2,000 metres and recording an overall figure of plus 3.3.
Yeah, they're thinking of going towards the Kalgoorlie Cup with this horse. Hasn't got the figures to win it yet, but he's open to some improvement, but I will watch for now. I will forgive Mr. Albie on Saturday. He's going for a spell. He came back with a muscle pain, a cramping issue. Have a look at the stewards report for the official term. It is impossible to pronounce. I will forget Too Close to the Sun, was beaten at odds on, and I'm simply not convinced of his quality based on his ratings. I think he goes around too short given his connections. And I'll follow Maserati again here. He was the best of the back markers once more. He just needs to find a faster tempo. This was pretty even.
The next race was taken out by Colourful Chloe. It's a horse that I think Dan Morton's always had a bit of an opinion of, and great to see her bring that to race day, recording an overall figure of minus 2.2.
Last of all is Grand Design. 600 left to go. The Grey Deandes brought them to the home corner, about 3/4 of a length in front of Akiko. Almost 2 lengths, Rising Sea, Recharger, and further back, Colourful Chloe. Over on the outside, at the head of the others, Pro Consent. Also running on now, Bell My Pago, and they're being followed further back in the field by Paradise Square. Sammy the Boss as Recharger reaches the lead. 250 to go. Recharger, Colourful Chloe joins it as well. Down the outside, running on Bell My Pago. Sammy the Boss coming from the back of the field as well. It's Colourful Chloe though, and Bell My Pago. Colourful Chloe gained the upper hand, however, and Colourful Chloe was too good.
Well, it looked a very open race on paper, and punters struggled to find a favourite in this, but in the end of the day, it was Colourful Chloe.
I think she's the follow horse out of this race. She got a little bit of a bump at the start. She did have to jump on Bell My Pago in the run, but punting form's introduced this new data now, splitting not only the last 600 but also the 4 and the 2 to the class and the overall rating. And if you look at that, Colourful Chloe was really, really good over that last 200 metres, so follow her. I will forgive Bell My Pago. Was slow away, fastest last 4, 6, 8 and 1,000 metres. It was a very decent performance, and in the same colours those of Neil Ovine. I will forget Pro Consent. Was a personal best, albeit by just a little bit over a quarter of a length. Lost its unbeaten record, however, without really any legitimate excuses.
All right, the next race is the Farnley Stakes, the listed feature of the day, and a very special story to come out of this. It was a very emotional victory for trainer Martin Allen, his first listed victory, but also apprentice Jade McNaught. This brought up her 5th win of the day and her first listed victory.
Them at the 650, back on the fence to Mad Brad, trailing up there, 3 wide. Abdicator now for Newman. Snow Chino is in the middle, followed then by Variation and Push and Shapes back there in the field with Disposition. The favourite last of all, Tell 'Em We're Coming, and Pike about to swing to the outside, commencing his run in the straight. 350 left to go. Red Publisher hit the front with Neurological, sticking on with Abdicator. In behind them, Variation, Tell 'Em We're Coming. It's Abdicator and Red Publisher. Neurological down on the inside, responding. Neurological and Abdicator. Tell 'Em We're Coming late. Neurological kept going though for McNaught. Abdicator comes again. It's Neurological. Neurological's got...
Neurological taking out the Farnley, putting the emotions aside. Let's just look at the data here, and minus 7.7. It's a fantastic run.
He's a super horse, Neurological. Only paid $20,000 for him. It was his inheritance from his father. And he's proven he can win without William Pike. William Pike had a wonderful association with this horse. But Jade McNaught, without a claim, wins the listed race with a minus 7.3. It's a shame he doesn't make the file, but I am going to forgive Variation here. Cast both of its 4 plates. Good splits from the rear until the last 200 metres, and was better than he was first up. I think Variation will still be a player during the carnival. You've got to forget Saracino. This horse won 3 Group 2s in New Zealand, but he's yet to win in Australia, and his PB was more than 1 year ago. And I'll follow Abdicator. Unlike Neurological, it was not a PB, but it was pretty close to it. And I think he's pretty likely to win a similar race to this.
All right, now to paint the picture, going into race number 9, emotions were high because Jade McNaught sat on 5 winners. We remember William Pike riding 6 last season, and I believe that's the record, and we thought, could she do it? Could an apprentice possibly win 6 of the 9 races? Let's take a look.
Ready inside the 600, and Mervyn led them easily from Moulton as they come up to the home corner. By the 500, a length and a half away. More races getting up into an ideal spot coming into the corner from City Chant. Then Ice Maker, Trap Wide, King's Authority about to scoot up near the rail, and Danny George headed the remainder with Stage Man. Mervyn, Moulton coming together. It's Moulton on the outside going a bit the better. Draws level with Mervyn. 2 lengths more races. Here comes Stage Man down the outside. He's winding up with his run. Is this a Super 6? Goes up, reaches the lead. Stage Man. King's Authority gets the run, but Jade McNaught has won 6 of 9 here this afternoon.
Stageman taking out the last. Now, we knew they would absolutely fly in that race. There was plenty of speed engaged. To the 600, they've been going 7.3 lengths better than benchmark, so they went very quick.
I think this absolutely set it up perfectly for Stageman. I think he was the best horse in the race, needed the tempo on to negate that wide gate. And if you look at the figures, Stageman was just simply better than them. Came home minus 4.9, never looked like being beaten in the run, even though he had the grandstand on him with Jade McNaught riding the horse. We'll forget Danny George here, worst 2-year personal best of the entire field. Had a very similar run to the first 2 homes, so he can't complain about his run in transit, and it was a benchmark figure by him. And I will forgive Moulton, very fast tempo first up for this horse. His personal best is over further 1200, and also a nod to more races. He was really tough on speed as well.
Yeah, and he always improved second up as well, so one worth keeping an eye on. All right, let's have a look at the meeting in its totality. Who are our best performers?
Neurological, the best overall racing of the day. You'd expect that with a listed race, minus 7.3, and it was certainly better than the class you'd expect for that black type race. But the best class racing was clearly Cockney Crew, minus 5.2 above that class. It was only a graduation event, but you'd suggest his figure suggested he's certainly a listed horse at the absolute minimum. And then looking at the closing sectionals, I think the one that sticks out here is Stageman. Fast tempo. I know it was over 1,000 metres, but he came home with the fastest last 600 of the day. He is a carnival horse.
Yeah, certainly is 33.68, so nice and quick home there. All right, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll see how our tipsters fared on the weekend. Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look at the tipping competition and see how our tipsters fared on the weekend. And And the week's gone past, it's been some big dividends up for grabs. This week, not so much. Neurological, the outlier.
Yeah, just over 2,000 points was what you could have got if you got the best possible set of results, which included 8 of the winners, and Sonal in the third race paid nearly, or just over $11 for the place.
Oh, I did, yeah, the placing as well. That is a nice figure if you were able to find Sonal for a place. What did our weekly winner manage to find?
Brenton Williams was our weekly winner. There was about 360 people competing this week, but Brenton was the top scorer with 1,614 points. Key to him winning was finding Neurological with his big bet, but he also found Friar Fox, and Millionite and Bunker Buster.
With just 2 rounds to go, how is that leaderboard shaping up?
Well, I don't think there'll be any work being done at Montague Partners for the next couple of weeks, certainly not by the man of the house. Glenn Montague continues to lead this competition. He's about 300 points in front with 2 weeks to go, so I think Liesl will be holding the fort.
Yes, hopefully Liesl's keeping everything together, because I think his full focus will be on winning this tipping competition. As I mentioned, just 2 rounds to go, so he's keeping hold of that lead. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Run of the Week, Run of the Race, and we'll catch you next week.
She makes her bid for a little piece of history.